This is Patricia Sunshine, and this video is an update to the previous one that I did, the Making of a Good Man campaign. And this is Okolo, he's my guest. And today we're going to talk about, well, I want to talk to him about what he does and how he can help contribute to the betterment of most men. He works in industry. I'll let him explain what type of industry he works in, and how what he does can help not only himself but you too. You know, most men who are looking for work right now, or if you're in transition between jobs, he actually does something that you can do whether you have a full-time job already or you're looking to totally change careers. But the way that I came up with the Making of a Good Man is it was from an idea that men should be encouraged and inspired to play an active role in their children's lives, and to also take care of their children by leaving an inheritance for them. And a lot of men, women, and people in general don't really know how to start the process of leaving a legacy and creating an inheritance, or vice versa, for their children and their children's children, which are their grandchildren. So Okolo is going to be the first of many that I interview who will present skills that you men can use to better provide for your children and also create a legacy for your children and your children's children. And so there are going to be two things in this. He's not only going to share with you how he's using the tools right now to leave a legacy for his own children and create an inheritance, but he's also going to share with you how you can also start doing this for your friends and relatives and help them leave a legacy behind for your own children and theirs as well. All right.
So, as she said, my name is Okolo. I am a life insurance expert. And first I'll talk about just the product side of it and what it is that I do. One of the things that I hate the most seeing on Facebook is GoFundMe pages. Such and such a person passed away unexpectedly in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever it is, and they've got small children and they're raising money to bury the person and to give even the smallest amount of money to help the family out. I hate seeing those because they could be so easily prevented.
By the way, I do have a GoFundMe page, but it's to offer services to help you.
Well, I'm talking about GoFundMe page to help bury somebody.
Yeah. Not cool.
Yeah, that's not cool. So one of the things that obviously can prevent that is life insurance. And I think it's very, very important for anybody who has anybody that they are responsible for, that they love, that they would like to care for, that they provide for in any way, shape, or form, to have life insurance. That means both the male and the female, the mother and the father, the husband and the wife. Because many people will even say, oh, well, I make more than my spouse. It could be male or female, so therefore I don't need life insurance on them. So, okay, well, so let's see, what it is that they do. They do X, Y, and Z. They might be the homemaker, they might take care of the kids, they might be more responsible for that, but if that person were to be gone, there would, something needs to be filled, fill that void. So that's the purpose of life insurance.
Because you create a lifestyle together, and the income must continue.
Exactly. So what I say to people is, okay, so if you don't need their income and you don't need what they do, imagine if they were just gone. What would happen? What would it look like? People usually say, okay, I get it. Right. So that's the first side of it, is the importance of protecting your family and making sure that, God forbid, something were to happen, there's money available. So that's one side of it. The second purpose of life insurance is to build a legacy and to create generational wealth. There are various ways to do that. if you go to circlefinancial.org, you'll be able to see some articles talking about various solutions. But the bottom line is, when everyone knows, I mean, this is a little bit more of a morbid conversation that I've gotten used to because I've been in the industry so long, but the bottom line is everybody's going to die.
Right.
And when you die, you can either pass something on to your family or you cannot.
Right.
And it's your choice. And we're not necessarily talking about huge amounts of money. We're just talking about regular steady amounts of money.
Right. Enough for your children to continue playing sports, or just to keep up their regular lifestyle. Wouldn't it be terrible if, because you die, like your child just doesn't get to go to ballet anymore? And so,
or let's be even more real. You lose the house,
right? And now have to move from a nice home or house to maybe an apartment. That's, in their mind, that could be downgrading. Like, if there's nothing wrong with an apartment, but in their mind, it's like, okay, daddy left, he's gone, or mommy, and now we have to leave our favorite place to live, where our friends are, or where we grew up. And so I have a question for you. I know that you're selling this product, and most times people who offer a product, they usually use it, because who can best tell us how a product works or has helped them than someone who's actually using it? Not just a salesperson, but an actual customer of the product, So has it always been, what's your cheapest insurance policy that you actually purchased for your family?
So there's various different types of insurance, and this is not going to be a life insurance lesson, but the cheapest type of insurance is term insurance. Depending on your age, you can get a fair amount for a relatively small amount. So term insurance is good for a period of time, whether it be 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or 30 years. After that period of time, however, there's no more insurance. It's very similar to car insurance. If you don't get into an accident, you're happy. So that's the cheapest type. And then another type.
Well, how much in terms of dollars? 50, 60, 70,
someone reasonably healthy. I mean, somebody could get a policy for $20, $25 a month. That would be impactful.
Right.
Of course, the variables are age and health, but we're talking somebody in their 30s, 40s.
Right.
$25 a month could be impactful.
Yeah, like it can make a huge difference in the lives of the loved ones who are left behind. So, like, I wanted to bring Okolo here to talk to you about the fact that getting insurance doesn't have to break the bank. Okay, you can get possibly maybe $100,000 to $200,000 of life insurance for your family for just less than $50 a month, probably.
Oh, much less.
Yeah. So, like, sometimes money is a hurdle, but if you know that you can acquire something that's so valuable and meaningful for your family for just $25 a month, $35, $45 a month, like, wouldn't you do that?
Absolutely. And the other thing I will say is, before you ever make any decisions, talk to an expert. Have them figure out exactly, well, maybe not exactly, but have them figure out how much life insurance you need.
Right.
Just pulling out a number and saying, oh, well, I think I need X, is not the most beneficial way to do it. Typically what we look at is any debts that you want to remove, college funding you want to take care of. Debts could include the mortgage. Expenses that get shared, and then of course there's income loss. If there's a person who's the primary breadwinner, or even the supplementary breadwinner, how much of that income do you want to replace? These are not answers I give people. These are questions that I ask, and then when they answer, then I can come up with a number and make a suggestion. Say, okay, well, you want to send all 10 of your kids to Harvard. And you want to pay for all of it. Right. That's going to be different than somebody who says, well, you know what? Yeah, my kids might go to college, and I'd like to have some help. But, but they have to take out loans and figure it out. That's fine.
Yeah, but what if there's someone who is, like, we want to reach all people. Like, so what if someone is in between jobs? Like, I want everyone to know that this is something that you can do. Whether you are working your dream job, or you have your business up and running, or you're working at Taco Bell trying to hold things down. I want you to know that Okolo can help you.
Right. The other side of it is that I'm personally building my own agency, and I'm looking for people to work with me. I'm looking for people to get to $100,000 in income as quickly as possible. We have a path, we have a system proven that works. We just need people to work hard and do the system and do the process. I always encourage people to start part-time. Don't quit your job. Start the system, start the process, learn. But you have to understand that financial services is one of the very, very few industries where somebody with or without a college degree could come out and make up to or more than $100,000 in their first year.
Right.
So my encouragement to everybody, reach out to me, reach out to Trisha, figure out.
Mostly Okolo. I'm brand new to doing some things. This is.
Well, I'm just saying that she can put you in touch with me.
Exactly.
That's what I mean
Yes.
by reach out to.
But now, I told you all before, I think the services are awesome, and I do know people who could benefit from life insurance, and I want to offer it as well. This is Okolo's passion, and he's been doing it for so many years. He's great at it. He's really he's number one in the industry compared to he is. But so what I wanted to say is that people will actually be pursuing their life insurance license, like to sell life insurance.
Right.
How much does it cost to study for the life insurance exam and then to actually take the state life insurance?
Well, every state is different.
But the minimum that you've seen, like to study for the exam online, is how much?
$40.
Okay, good. Now to actually go and register to take the exam in Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts was, I think, $40.
You can have a brand new career for about
$100.
almost $100. Now there is one last step to that, which is becoming, commissioned through the state, or how does that work?
Right, you have to. It is a professional designation, so you have to get
a
licensed.
professional.
That's right. You will get a license through the state. That will let everybody know that you are licensed to sell life insurance. So you do have to get that through whatever state you are. In Massachusetts, it's approximately $250, I think.
But can you still make money doing training?
Yes, you can. Yep. The company that I'm with, Freedom Equity Group, also has a program where you're able to actually get paid during your training process.
So that's great.
Yeah. So we've got the need to get rid of the GoFundMe pages when people die.
Right.
We've got the need to build a legacy for our family and our children's children, generational wealth creation. Life insurance is one of the best ways to do that.
Right.
And then we have the opportunity for a new career and a very lucrative career that we're looking for more people.
Right.
The one thing I will also say, that this industry is open to everybody. I'm open to everyone on my team, all different types, but I also have a passion. We're both African American, Black. One of my goals is to get 100,000 Blacks to 100,000 income in financial services. So it is a very lofty goal, but I think one person at a time, spreading this message and showing the effectiveness.
Right.
It is possible, it's doable, and I'm looking for people to take on this mission to both be able to help yourself and your family, but also to be able to help other people.
Help
so
other
there's got
people,
to put the death GoFundMe pages out of business, or at least put those aspects of it, because it's just so heart-wrenching. Such and such a person. Just imagine you lose your husband or your wife or and then on top of all that, you literally have to go and beg to bury them. Literally, I have literally been in Black clubs where they have literally had the mother come up This was actually for a child, of her child, which I also encourage. I have life insurance on all of my children. You know, God forbid something happens. She was up there, something happened to her child. She was up on stage at this club, telling her story, crying. Literally, they held out a hat just simply to bury her.
That can be prevented.
It can be prevented.
Like, not judging anyone for whatever you've had to do in the past. We are being proactive and saying, going forward, like, I am not a stranger to that either. I grew up in places where, like, even everywhere I go, there have been stores, like gas stations, where the attendant, like, you'll see a picture of someone on a can saying, let's help us get some money, this person died, you know. And so really just a little bit of education can help us prevent that. Like, it's our responsibility. Come on now, if you have 2 children, if you have 1 child, let alone multiple, it is your responsibility to take care of that child and to make sure in the event of your untimely death that your child is taken care of. You know, like, do you love them?
And the one thing I will say is, I know that these are difficult conversations. I know these are things you don't want to think about. I know that you think you're Superman and you'll never die.
Will you tell them about David quickly?
Yes. So I actually have a person on my team. His name is David. If you check the website, circlefinancial.org, it actually goes to a Facebook page. But anyway, his story is there. He had a heart attack.
And how old is he?
He is early 40s. He had a heart attack just over a year ago. And listening to his story was interesting because there were 2 sides of it. There was, you know, he had a near-death experience, shall we say, which was interesting to actually hear it from somebody who you actually know. You know, he talked about being in the emergency room and being above everybody and watching them trying desperately to bring him back to life. And he remembers some nurse in the corner that was nervous and anxious and almost like rooting for him, but in a very like nervous kind of way, like, oh my gosh, I really don't think he's gonna make it. He comes back and he says to her, "Are you okay?" And they're like, "Is she okay? Are you okay?
You just died."
You just died. So anyway, but the other thing he said that he was thinking while he was on the table, he was like, I don't have my affairs in order. Like, I've got a child, you know, my child's mother, they're not gonna be okay.
Right.
They're not gonna be okay. And, you know, luckily he passed, he made it through. Unfortunately for him, because of his age and where he is, there's not a lot of choices to get him life insurance now.
Because if you wait too long, like if you have a heart attack or stroke or something, sometimes you might become uninsurable.
Right? Uninsurable, or you'd have to wait till a certain point. And
after recovering.
After recovering, and your premiums will be drastically higher.
That's why you have to get it now, like while you're healthy.
Get it now while you're young. You know, what is too young? There is no too young. Some people say, oh, if you're single, you don't need life insurance. Well, it depends on the type of life insurance. And that's where it's important to go and talk to an expert, which I am. But I'd be happy to help anybody. But the most important thing, they can just go to circlefinancial.org.
So what were you about to say, the most important thing? Sorry.
No, I don't know. I lose my train of thought sometimes.
Do it now.
Yeah, the most important thing is it doesn't really matter that the most important thing is to get it when you're young. So all of my children have had it since they were very, very young. The type is dependent on the age and the health and all of those things, but those details can be worked out.
Can it be converted?
Yeah, and there's some types that can be converted from one type to another.
From a child's policy to an adult?
Yes, and there's another thing that you can, and again, I don't want to get this too much into a life insurance presentation.
But it's okay, because we're trying to help
educate.
People. We're educating people and encouraging them to pursue new things.
Right. So the cheapest policy that I mentioned, the term policy, you can actually add a child rider to that, so that God forbid anything were to happen to the child or any one of your children, no matter how many children you have, the price is the same.
Right.
You would be able to use
the money to bury them or start
whatever.
a charity or a scholarship, anything. You know, get a gold laced casket or something, whatever.
Well, I hope you don't do that. But well, I guess hey,
my
King
daughter,
Tut,
if anything happens to her, she says she wants to be turned into a diamond. So that might be about $20,000. But what did King Tut do?
It wasn't King Tut buried, gold casket.
One of the Egyptians.
Or not as gold, but anyway,
one of the
gold face. The other thing that I will say is about the different types of life insurance. There's newish type of life insurance that has something called living benefits. Living benefits there's a few different ones, but if you get sick, critically, chronically, or terminally, heart attack, stroke, or cancer, and many other illnesses, if that happens to you while you're still alive, your life insurance death benefit can actually be accelerated so that you can get the money while you're still alive.
Right.
That can be used for health costs because your health insurance is not going to cover it all. It could be used to take that trip for income because you can't work. It could be used to your bucket list.
Take a trip,
You always wanted to go to Tahiti, and you just found out you've got 6 months to live, and you've now all of a sudden got money and you can go and do that.
And the good thing about that is, like, no one wants to become terminally ill, but there are miracle stories out there where someone was diagnosed with some type of cancer, and then next thing, they get the money, it pays out, right? But they still get to keep the money.
Absolutely. Even if they recover, they keep the money.
Yeah, I mean, and that's very helpful. Like, it's an asset, something that's definitely worth having. Like, nobody wants to get sick, and one person pointed out, unfortunately, some people get sick before they die. So life insurance is to help your family if you were to die. But what about the people who get sick before they die? They have all these expenses. That is the type of insurance you also.
That's right. And the one other piece to mention is there are so many people. Health is one of the primary reasons people end up going into bankruptcy. Right. People think, I've got health insurance, I'll be fine. It's just not true. And the only way to get away from many of those medical bills is to file bankruptcy. And the number of people filing bankruptcy who get sick is tremendous. It's really scary.
It's hard to recover.
So, you insure your car, you insure your house.
Right.
You're required to insure
your car for sure.
Well, yeah, you're required to insure your car. Many people insure their phones, which they have.
Right.
Which is more important, your phone or your life?
That's a good rhetorical question. Good. Well, thank you so much for coming. And Okolo is a supporter of my GoFundMe page. And as you'll probably see it if you visited the page, it's called The Making of a Good Man. And he is doing things that a good man does. You too can. One of the things is to get life insurance. I mean, we don't have any standards in America of what a good man is, but in my opinion and deep and strong belief, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay.